Hello everyone, this is Alok Kumar Mahalik. I am here to discuss about the problem of rising income inequality in India. Overview of the problem: income inequality in India has widened significantly over the years, with wealth increasingly concentrated among the top 1% of the population, while millions remain in poverty. According to Oxfam reports, the richest 10% of Indians control over 77% of the country's wealth, while the bottom 50% own less than 5%. So let's see some historical context. The pre-liberalization, that is 1947 to 1991, India followed a socialist model with a focus on state-led development, resulting in slow growth but relatively lower inequality. Post-liberalization, that is 1901 to present, economic reforms spurred high GDP growth but disproportionately benefited the urban elite and corporate sectors, leaving rural populations behind. Digital and technological boom, where high-skilled sectors like IT, finance and corporate jobs flourished, while low-skilled workers in agriculture and manufacturing struggled. The pandemic also exacerbated income disparity as informal workers lost jobs while large corporations and high income groups recovered quickly. Key cause of rising income inequality: unequal access to education and skills, the great urban-rural divide, and the informal economy and job security, where a large portion of India's workforce, that is around 80%, is in the informal sector with low wages and no job security. Taxation and wealth distribution issues are prominent, where India's tax system favors corporations and the wealthy with relatively low taxes on capital gains and wealth. So moving on to ameliorative measures and implementation timeline. The first measure should be progressive taxation and wealth redistribution, wherein increase taxes on high income individuals and corporations to fund social programs. The timeline should be very short, like 1 to 3 years. Other measures should be universal basic income, that is UBI, or pilot programs. You implement UBI schemes for low-income households to provide a financial safety net. The timeline for this should be medium term, that is 5 to 7 years. Strengthening public education and skill training, wherein we expand vocational education and increase government funding for quality schooling in rural areas. The timeline for this should be medium, like 5 to 7 years. Minimum wage reforms and labor protections, wherein we increase minimum wages and enforce stronger labor rights, especially for informal workers. Short to medium term, that is 3 to 5 years timeline should be there. Other measure is MSME support and entrepreneurship program, which provide financial and policy support to small businesses to create job opportunities. The timeline should be medium, like 5 to 7 years. In long-term measures, we can have affordable housing and social welfare expansion, wherein we expand public housing schemes and social welfare programs for the underprivileged. The term should be long-term, that is 7 to 10 years timeline. Barriers to this will be political resistance. Tax reforms and wealthy redistribution policies often face opposition from wealthy elites and businesses. Global economic trends, where automation and globalization favor capital over labor, worsening inequality trends. Informal economy challenges, which bring informal workers into formal employment structures in a complex process. So to conclude, we can say that rising income inequality threatens India's long-term stability and social cohesion. Addressing it requires progressive taxation, better social welfare, investment in education and infrastructure, and strong labor protections. While some reforms can be implemented quickly, closing the wealth gap is a long-term challenge that requires sustained government and policy action over the next decade. So that's it from my side. Thank you.